Is there a plea deal that you've accepted or are going to accept in return for sharing information on Sepp Blatter?
No, I said 4 years ago that I have nothing more to do with Sepp Blatter and international football, and I meant this. I think that people, in their wisdom or lack of it, will decide on Sepp Blatter's future. I want to have no part in that.
You've worked closely alongside Sepp Blatter.
For 30 years, yes.
What information do you have on him?
I have enough that I think that is worthwhile, but I don't think that I should share it. At the end of the day, I did say to myself that I have nothing more to say on Blatter. I tried to get regime change when I was there through Bin Hammam. It did not work out to my and my family's detriment, and I'm saying very, very, very far from Sepp Blatter.
Should he go?
Well, I think that is left for the people to decide. I can't decide if he'll go now. The people who have to decide that, and from what I've heard, it doesn't seem that they are ready for him to go, which is unfortunate, of course, because a man is 79 years old. When do you say enough is enough?
You've said in the past, though, that you have information about gifts that he made.
Well, sure I have, not on him. But I say again, I don't want to become involved in that. I don't have anything more to say. I could be there for 30 years and not know what's happening, right? In the courts of FIFA. But I don't think it is prudent for me to become involved in that.
But do you think you and the others have become a scapegoat and that he also should have been included on that charge sheet?
Sure, because if I am supposed to be this villain of the peace, this corrupt person, he was my president for 24 of those years. And if I am corrupt, I didn't push my hand in the till of FIFA. I'm not FIFA treasurer. I don't write checks for FIFA. And therefore, if I'm corrupt, it must be that somebody else would have given me the money. I'm saying if, because I say again, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the fact that I am corrupt, period. But if I am, as they try to make me out to be for years now, I'm saying, I have a reason for that. I'm saying that he shouldn't be allowed to go free.
You say the if, though. What about the others then? Do you think they should also not be on that charge sheet, the other officials who were on?
Like whom?
Well, the other people.
Like whom?
Like the current president of CONCACAF.
Well, he's there already. Jeff Webb is there.
Yeah, Mr. Jeff. But do you think he should be charged too? Is he?
I don't have the facts, sweetheart. What, of course, for me is very surprising is that he has been there for only 4 years as CONCACAF president, and look where he has ended. I've been in CONCACAF president for more than 22 years, and I don't think that I have any cause to worry, even despite what they have said about me. But after 4 years, he has been given this kind of indictment. It is troubling.
What about you, Mr. Warner? Have you ever accepted a bribe?
I have never accepted a bribe.
Never in your life?
I have never accepted a bribe.
Not even something that someone might think is a bribe?
No, I know what people think. I can speculate what people think. I could know what I think, and I don't accept a bribe from anybody.
So the charge that you accepted some $10 million for the South African World Cup deal, that's completely false, is it?
That is ludicrous. From whom? At the end of the day. And where's the check? Then show it. I mean, it's very easy to trace this. If the bank could go to this guy Garcia, and it was sickening for me and painful, the FIFA appointed Garcia, an American, to attack and indict people, and knowing that America has a grouse not having hosted the World Cup. So what do you expect? It is a kind of a evidential witch hunt, so to speak.
You think this is America acting with sour grapes, effectively?
I can put my head on a block for it, because they believe they have some divine right to football, in fact to anything in the world.
But the FBI has a very extensive charge sheet with lots of evidence that suggests that you've accepted some $150 million worth of bribes.
That is so foolish, not funny. And you are seeing what the FBI what they have said, but let them produce the evidence. And my court has told them in 60 days, produce the evidence. So all they have to do is to come back in 60 days' time and see what they have produced, and then have a press conference with me. I am telling you something, that is laughable. It is laughable. It's ridiculous.
What about your sons, though? They pled guilty. Are you saying that you had no knowledge of what they've pled guilty for?
They pled guilty to structuring of monetary deposits. That wasn't common. They pled guilty to structuring of monetary deposits. That is...
Which was changing the way that the money was handled so that people couldn't see those transactions.
Everybody does that. I don't know anybody from the Caribbean, including this country, who doesn't do that.
So you do that then?
Well, sure, I do. Nothing wrong. I've been doing that. That's a young man. But you go to the States, you deposit $9,000 instead of $10,000, so you don't have anything to declare.
That's still a crime, though.
No, there's no crime.
But they've been charged.
What is the crime is irregularity. But the person by itself is not a crime.
Have you ever money laundered?
I don't even know how to do that. But tell me something, how to do that? Tell me how to do that. Because you might be able to help me.
Well, I wouldn't know myself, Mr. Warner.
Well, all right. Well, then that makes two of us.
Another charge against you is that you gave cash, envelopes stuffed with cash to people to get them to vote for Bin Hammam.
I never give any little cash to people. Mr. Bin Hammam came to Trinidad and Tobago. I did not even meet him. He came here to talk to the cabinet delegates, which he did. He said he was giving them money to develop their youth football, which is normal for FIFA. Blatter does that every week, every Monday morning. And therefore he gave them this money. I had nothing to do with it.
So what's normal for FIFA, you say?
Giving development aid to countries. And
So
he was doing the same the other day.
There is reports of this meeting at the Hyatt here,
That's sure, I'm saying that.
and that you were there and you handed out this money. You saying that's development money then?
I never handed out any money to anybody. Never. I was present at the Congress, at the dinner, and then I left. I was the Minister of Works and Infrastructure. I could not, of course, have this kind of time, but I never, ever. And it should be very easy to prove. Ask anybody in the Caribbean, they'll tell you. Why don't you ask them? There were 40 of them. Ask anyone.
In your mind, what's the difference between a bribe and a gift?
A bribe is when you give something expecting something in return. A gift is when you give that based off your kindness of your heart or benevolence. That's straightforward. I mean, you who in England should know this better than I do. You who in BBC, for example, should have a better idea of what this than I do. A bribe and a gift. I mean, I from the Caribbean shouldn't tell you that.
Were any European or British officials involved in any of this corruption that we don't know about?
But the people who have made charges, they have to tell you and say yes or no. I didn't know. I don't know. I have never been in any charge as such. So therefore, I can't say yea or nay because I never charged anybody. I simply don't know.
But you worked in an organisation which the FBI says, aside from the charges it's made against you, is corrupt and rotten right through.
I just told you, and you possibly didn't remember, let them produce the evidence.
So you don't believe FIFA's corrupt then?
I have no evidence of that. I heard people talk about it, I heard whispers, I heard people see, but I have no evidence of that. I know FIFA has a largesse of funds and so on. I know they give out developmental grants, but I know anything about FIFA's corruption.
And what about you? Are you going to stay in politics now all of this has happened? What's your plan?
Well, I thought after this meeting tonight you would have seen that I'm staying in politics. I have no reason to leave, despite the efforts of the local authorities here and also your international people outside. I have no reason to be judged by them. I'll be judged by the people in Trinidad and Tobago who vote for me or who don't vote for me.
And do you think Sepp Blatter tomorrow or today in Europe now, because the time's ahead, do you think Sepp Blatter should remain president?
I can't say if he should or should not.
But you must have a view.
No, what I do know is that he will win.
You think he'll win?
Oh, sure he'll win.
Even with all of this?
Oh, sure he'll win. You see, you have to understand, FIFA has 215 members. Of those 215 members, about 180 are third world countries, hungry for help, FIFA grant. And Sepp Blatter, either willingly or otherwise, to his credit or not, has been helping them to build stadia, to build recreation grounds, and so on. Therefore, they don't bite the hand that feed them. And in that sense, therefore, I expect him to be successful.
And just to be clear with Sepp Blatter, you hinted earlier at the rally that there were other people in the organisation that you were working for who were responsible or have to take responsibility, but you didn't go into any detail.
I don't understand what I said.
Well, you said you worked, if there was a corrupt organisation, you said it earlier in the interview, if it was a corrupt organisation and he was my boss.
Yeah, just sure.
So to be clear, if...
I'm saying, if FIFA is corrupt, no, see, I said if I'm corrupt, then it means that he is corrupt. And if he's corrupt, therefore why not charge him? I'm saying therefore they only charge third world countries. If I'm corrupt, wouldn't the president be corrupt? Wouldn't the treasurer be corrupt? Wouldn't the head of finance be corrupt? Wouldn't the general secretary corrupt? I don't put my hand in FIFA still, the treasury, and therefore if I'm corrupt from FIFA funding, somebody has to give me. And if it's so, charge the others. Why you charge only third world countries?
So they should have charged Blatter as well.
But sure, if they say it's true, why haven't they? He's universally disliked and discredited, and yet for they haven't touched him. Why? Why they haven't touched Blazer? Who made all these charges? Why haven't touched Blazer? Why, of course, you only charge those people from the total countries? What make it two Bs?
What do you think the why is?
Why? I have my reservations about that. I feel that this is a third world, first world paradigm behavior. That, of course, there's a... And you see what happened to Qatar. Qatar's situation and Qatar is facing is because they feel Qatar is an Arabic country, a Muslim country, a small country, has no place in World Cup football. But I can say that because my country, in 2006, qualified for World Cup, the smallest country in the world. And therefore, football is no respect of countries or persons or places. And this is why I'm saying I feel so disappointed to the extent that the US is going to try to get a World Cup from Russia, if they could, or Qatar, if they can't. Can't make sense to me.
So, do you think someone like Blatter should give himself up for questioning as well and talk to the authorities?
That is not for me to say. If the authorities have evidence on him, they should go after him. I don't know if they have.
But what you're saying is you believe there is a sense of discrimination in the way...
I am saying so. They're very selective about what they do. And I'm saying the discrimination, racial discrimination, geographical discrimination, and you may even say religious, I don't know.
There's a picture of you with President Obama on the wall.
That's right.
What would you say to him then?
About
the fact that the FBI has gone after you like this, and as you say, you're saying it's discrimination.
He didn't send them after me.
But it's his country. You were accusing America of playing...
I can't blame Obama for everything this country does. Sure, surely not. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
But if you could say something to him about this situation?
I would tell him that having lost the World Cup, I'm sorry for him. I'm sorry that he did. That's all I'll tell him.
So you believe this is all motivated by America's loss of the World Cup and nothing else? Absolutely don't believe it's anything else?
I am sure. Let me ask you something. I don't understand from then to now how the FIFA could appoint a fellow like Michael Garcia, an American, to investigate countries who receive votes to host the World Cup, and the US didn't get it. The US is angry. So you appoint an American who has a US bias, obviously, to investigate the countries and those people who voted. It just does not make sense.
So you're saying every page of that indictment that relates to you is utterly false, just to be absolutely clear?
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, if I haven't said it before, let me say it again. I'll say it slowly. The indictment against me, they are utterly false. And they are false only because the US lost the World Cup bid, and they felt that I did not help them enough to get it.
And just to make it very clear, I know I've asked you before, have you ever taken a bribe?
I asked me that twice before, I'll tell you again. I've never taken a bribe. And I'll say for more slowly, I have never taken a bribe from FIFA or anybody else. And if you walk to this country here and ask any contractor, anybody will tell you, I don't even take kickbacks from contractors. Never did. There is no contractor in this country ever could say, as Minister of Works, when I was Minister of Works, took any kickback from them. Same thing.